What up, what up? It's your boy Doughboy Tony, and we back with another episode of What's the Word on the realest fucking platform on YouTube, man, the American Cholo. And you already know I'm here with my dogs, my boys. We in the building, man. What's up with y'all?
Shit, chilling, bro.
Trying to stay cool, bro. It's hot outside, dog.
Yeah, ducking this heat again.
Ducking this heat, bro. It's be hot out here in the valley, bro.
I know,
It'd
man.
be ridiculously hot for no reason.
Yeah, for no reason. I know that's what we were talking about before, bro. It's like, it's crazy because it's like desert heat.
Yeah.
And this ain't even a desert.
Nah.
You know what I mean? And you close enough. You in like a city. Everybody want to call it the Valley, LA. It ain't. You ain't even close enough to a beach.
Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just get must out here, fool.
Nah, yeah, it's fucking hot out here, fool. It's a big difference when I come from up here from down there and shit. I'm like, damn, it's fucking way hotter. And then in like during the wintertime, it's way colder out here too.
Yeah, for no reason, fool. And the crazy part is we'll have like heat, like it's like 108 today and stupid shit. And then tomorrow will be like gloomy and raining. It don't make no sense.
Yeah, it's been, I mean, I think that's just been fucking Cali in general, dog. It's just been kind of weird.
Some manipulation, G.
I think it's getting back on schedule now.
Yeah.
It's just been fucking hot recently, dog.
Yeah,
like,
weather a little bipolar right now.
Yeah. It's picking back up on track, though. You know, it's getting, just being more hot more than anything.
That's right.
More days. But what's up, man? It's fucking 4th of July Eve.
Damn. Bro, if you from like out there in shout out to Santana, shout out to all my people out there, bro, but like y'all need to stop, bro, with them fireworks, bro. It's been like 3 weeks, fool. A fool's just every single night.
Yeah.
Like, that's just year round,
bro,
dog.
well, yeah, but more so during 4th of July. I'm like, bro, like,
it's kind of a flex though, bro.
Just
you shooting fireworks for 3 weeks. For how much money you spend, dog?
Like, you know,
You're American as shit.
You're literally burning money right there, too.
Straight up,
literally.
Literally in the sky, dog.
Nah, yeah, but I mean, right there in the city, fucking at least like a month prior and a month after, fool, it's like
it's just active.
It sounds like a war zone,
bro. This is because everybody's trapping fireworks now, fool. Like I see on my social media, like all the homies got fireworks for sale, and I'm just like, bro, like, why? Like I guess, you know, like to those that, you know, that do, like, I guess it's definitely a moneymaker, right? But are y'all buying fireworks in this type of economy? Because I'm like, bro, I got bills to pay. I'm not trying to.
I see food selling M40s. Fuck, I need an M40 for it. And the little short fuse ass M40. Fuck, as soon as I light it, I gotta throw that bitch.
Yeah, run.
Fuck that.
Dog.
Nah, but yeah, fucking. I mean, it's always been popular in our city for sure. 100%. I don't know how it is out here because I know it's more dry out here, right? Do they trip on it?
For like, all right, so it's kind of random. The first like the 3 weeks before, 2-3 weeks before, you hear them start picking up, but like throughout the year, bro, like randomly you hear a firework go off for no reason. Yeah, like motherfuckers just be holding off, and it's like I got 12 left. I'm gonna pop one a month, G. You know what I mean? But nah, they've been picking up like this past week. Fool, my PTSD been kicking in.
For real.
Nah, yeah, the same thing over there, dog. Like throughout the year, you'll hear them fucking random as fuck.
But where the fuck do you even find them out here? Like in the valley, in different spots. Like I don't know, bro. I've seen fools post up and sell them.
I got you.
Yeah,
if you need it, I got you.
Nah, bro, my neighbor, this Israeli cat, fool, filthy rich for no reason. This motherfucker got a Harley Davidson in his fucking living room, G. He's got a life-size Predator, which is like 7 foot, right? He got stupid money.
Damn.
Stupid money.
Spend on dumb shit.
On dumb shit, bro. Every year in the backyard, this fool lets off like 40 fireworks, like big ass ones, bro. And it'll be the fireworks will barely pass the ceilings, G. Like they're like 3, 4, 5 feet above the roof. Fool. I'm over here like, what the fuck? I got confetti and cardboard in the pool and shit, dog. He puts on a whole ass show like Disney style, fool.
Damn,
in the backyard. Yeah,
yeah, that's crazy. That's a trip because that's one thing. Like me and my peoples, I feel like we've always like kind of like we've used that day to fucking like. You not literally like go and like show off against the neighbors, but like you kind of, it's like a war.
It's a flex.
It becomes like a war thing.
It does.
Fool, like, you know you be out there with the Romanian candles, fool, trying to pop off on each other.
Yeah, you shoot each other. Yeah. But no, I'm saying like with the neighbors, it's funny because like one year you're like, damn, we got them fools. Like we had way more fireworks. Ours were cooler, and then next year it's like they outdid you.
They thought about that shit all year.
Fuck that. Like I want to get next year, you know. But I don't know. It's cool, dog. I've always treated 4th of July like a cool family time.
Yeah.
Just grill, fucking
barbecue time.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Have some chelas.
It's family time more than anything, dog.
For sure.
Hey, you know what's funny that you say that? And so my Thea's crib in Inglewood is kind of like that, but they compete, like the whole block, all the Theas on the block, bro, they all compete with decorations.
Oh, no way.
So like one Christmas, my Thea will have like 3 big ass snowmans. And this motherfucker over here got like Santa with the reindeer. The next year I come over, my Theo got the Santa, the reindeer, then a big ass snow globe. Like it's always competition on that shit, man.
Nah, yeah, dog. But that's what I always tell people, because I mean, regardless of people always got different point of views.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, you know, for me at the end of the day, I mean, it's also a holiday for our country, dog. We live here, so let's celebrate it, you know?
Yeah.
But there's people who don't fuck with that or whatever. But it's like, I tell them, like, fool, just treat it like family time, dog. You got the day off, fool. Just
You're gonna shoot fireworks with your family.
Buy some carne asada.
Hey, go be happy, fool.
Yeah.
Even though the Declaration of Independence wasn't signed on 4th of July, but you know, but it is what it is, right?
Fool, but
It's an arbitrary holiday.
Exactly.
Bro, who cares about details? And facts
Whatever, it don't matter.
Dates.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
It's 4th of July, close enough, G.
Yeah, shit.
But talking about family matters, right? Talking about like obviously spending time with family. I'm like, you know, we're big sports fans, right? I know the philosopher really likes more of the fight game, but something that happened that's pretty historic this past week. Bronny James was drafted by the Lakers, being in first time in history having a father-son combo playing together in season. Right? Yeah,
that's
bro.
Cool.
The Lakers took him with their 2nd round pick. He was like
55th pick.
The 55th pick.
So his pops plays too. Same the Lakers.
LeBron James.
LeBron James.
LeBron's
shit,
dad, bro.
My fault. I don't know who LeBron James' son is. Fool. I know LeBron James. Fool. I don't know who the fuck your son is.
But you know, he had a one and done year out there in USC. A lot of people are talking about that he's a nepotism baby, right? That the only reason he got drafted was because he is LeBron's son.
Yeah.
You know,
pass the ball.
Yeah, like he definitely, bro, has he got a good skill set. Like he showed out, you know, with all the scouts and all of that. But how do you guys feel? Do you think that the Lakers and the Lake Show just picked him because he is LeBron's son, or do you feel like he deserves to be in the league? Because that's exactly what JJ Redick, the coach of the Lakers, is saying, that he earned his place on the Lakers.
Yeah, so I think, you know, my opinion really is, I don't know if he fully deserves to be in the league. Like, I don't think he's done anything in college ball or anything too special. I mean, yeah, he didn't get to play a full season, but he played 25 games. And if I'm not mistaken, a D1 school plays around 29 to 32 games, and that's counting, like, fucking playoffs and shit like that. So he played 25 games. He averaged 4.5 points. You know, that's not very impressive at all. But if, from a sports fan's point of view, you look at him as gameplay, he's a facilitator, bro. You know, he can pass the ball. He's got very high IQ. He's like his dad.
Yeah.
He's like his dad without the scoring aspect. But at the same time, he doesn't do those things nearly half as good as his dad does. He's not a very good ball handler, but he has a strong IQ. And I mean, when you're LeBron James' son, you're getting the best coaching since you're a kid, dog. So of course you're gonna have high IQ, you know. But I think he's also very undersized. If I'm not mistaken, he's like 6 foot or 6'1".
Yeah.
You know, so with a 6'4" wingspan, but he's undersized compared to the rest of the league. And that's not to say that people can't excel. I mean, look at people like Isaiah Thomas, bro, 5'10". He was a demon at one point, you know. Spud Webb, people like that. But those people all had things that stood out, and like Bronny doesn't have that. You know, like Allen Iverson, he was 6 foot, but motherfucker had handles like no other.
100%.
Bronny doesn't have that. You know, so I think he's got a lot to work at before he gets to a point where he's gonna really excel and be able to contribute to the team. I mean, they already said most of his time's gonna be spent in the G League.
Yeah.
You know, with his first year. So that itself, they're kind of pretty much proving the point that he's not really ready for the league yet, you know?
But basketball is unlike most of these professional sports, right? Where even in the fight game, right, you can be 18 and go right into the pros, right? Like, basketball is one of the only leagues where you can come in as an 18-year-old, bro, 19-year-old, whatever you are, like a Kobe, Kevin Garnett, LeBron, right, and make an immediate impact. You can't do that in football. You can't do that in baseball, because there is a process for you to kind of get groomed, right, learn on the job, things of that nature. So do you feel like his time at the G League is going to do him well, and in a year, 2 years from now, he'll be ready to come up to the league?
I think so. I mean, I wouldn't doubt if he can compete in the league now. You know, it's just a matter of how much production you expect out of him. You know, you can't expect him to go out there and be LeBron. It's not going to happen.
Nah.
You know, he's not going to go out there and be a fucking star. maybe not even a key role player, but he'll play his role. He's gonna know what he needs to go out there and do. Because I mean, he grew up around nothing but NBA players, NBA coaches. He's had that all his life, bro. So he's got the NBA mentality, the IQ. But my thing is, I don't think he's gonna excel like very to a high fucking point, you know?
But that's a difficult standard, bro. Your dad is considered one of the greatest to ever touch a basketball, man. So like how can you it's in my opinion, it's a lose-lose situation, right? Because as a child of somebody who's as great as LeBron or Michael Jordan or Chavez or you name any sport, right? Like their sons are typically not as good. No. And that's for multiple reasons, right? Like and I don't it's a hard bar to set when your pops is like one of the greatest players to ever touch the ball, right?
Also, they say it's hard to live in a great man's shadow, right? Because even like it doesn't matter. It's not just sports. If your dad was the emperor, right, and your pops is Caesar, now you got to be Caesar just as good or right in the area, right? The problem is that whatever made this man great to begin with probably came with sacrifice. It came with a certain life that he probably gave you a different life. So you don't have that same hunger and desire. Like being Mike Tyson, everything that he went through created Mike Tyson. That hunger, right? Well, Mike Tyson's son is a rich kid, right? So I don't even know if he has a son, right? But just saying, that kid, he can't have that same hunger and desire in him. He can't have that same fire, that necessity. You know what I mean? But I mean, to be honest, like speaking out of complete ignorance, I would assume though, this kid has the genetics, right? Because your pops is, LeBron, G. You have the money to get the proper coaching. And going back to like the Jake Paul shit that we've been talking about, Jake Paul has the money to sit down and have Freddie Roach coach him. How could you not get good? And then you're grazed under, one of the best basketball players that we've known of, right? So obviously, like the education you've had, the what is the surroundings? You're around some of the best players right now. And if on top of it you can play in what do you call the G League, right? Which is what I'm assuming like the lower entry type shit.
It's right below
right?
NBA,
like development league.
Then I would assume now you're gonna have some good experience on top of it, right? Are you gonna be as good as LeBron? I don't think you ever could, right? And I think that you're never gonna have that like Caesar's son. Right? Like, you just can't do it, bro. It's not the same. But it doesn't mean he can't be a great player. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that he can't, like, get to his level fairly quickly with all those resources. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's definitely what I think, too. Because, I mean, it's not like doesn't know what he's doing. Yeah. You know, I mean, he's got eyes on him for a reason. And I do believe that the majority of the reason is because, obviously, your dad is LeBron James.
Come on, fool.
And, you got drafted to the team that he fucking plays on.
Yeah, like, oh fuck, Michael Jackson's son is making music.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, I don't, and then people hate on the fact that it's like, oh, LeBron has something to say with it. Who gives a fuck if he did, dog? If I'm in a position to win and I can elevate my son to that same standard, I'm gonna do it all day.
Absolutely.
So is that motherfucker complaining?
You do that in business all day.
And as a dad, it's like you're gonna do that, and if Bronny doesn't do what he's supposed to do, that's on Bronny. Yeah. As a dad, you did what you were supposed to.
But do you think that could kind of be like almost like I think the mentality behind it is like no shit, because I would do it too, even thinking this way. But do you think it's almost, especially with what we're saying, like a negative pressure to throw on them? It's almost like setting him up for failure.
He's gonna have that negative pressure his whole life, bro. Yeah. For the rest of his life in the NBA, he's never gonna be Bronny James. He's gonna be LeBron's son.
LeBron's son, yeah, 100%.
You see in the media, LeBron's. I mean, of course, they're gonna address him by his name, but it's always gonna be LeBron's son, LeBron's son. He's never gonna leave that shadow
unless he just does so much better than LeBron, which is probably not happening.
Yeah, and his dad has done so many great things that he casts such a big shadow, dog. So it's almost impossible to get out of that.
You know what I mean? That would almost seem fucked up for you to have your own identity. You know what I mean? For you to do your own thing, it's just like, it would almost be better if you just played tennis, G, and were like great at tennis, because then you'd be your own man.
Facts.
But I do think that's almost like a fucked up pressure.
Yeah, it's gonna come from everywhere, bro. It's not just gonna be fans. It's not gonna be, and it's gonna be a lot of players. Yeah. The same way people are bitter about it online. Bro, you don't think there's NBA players,
of course,
who had daddy issues or whatever? It's like, man, fuck that kid. Like, why?
100%.
Like. He didn't do shit in college and he got drafted.
What about fools on the team? So anybody on the team will feel some type of way?
Maybe, dog. Like, and he's gonna have to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
But that's a good perspective where you just put it as a dad, right? Like your dad is the only man that wants you to do better than them, right? So
hopefully,
right? So LeBron putting his son in a position of power, in a position to be successful is like any dad.
Yeah,
any dad. You're right. Any dad would want to put their kid in a position to be successful. So from that, I applaud him, right? Yeah. But I don't applaud the fact that he's taking $50 million a year for the next 2 years, bro.
Oh shit.
Yeah, bro. Okay. He's getting paid $100 million for a 2-year contract.
He's willing to take a pay cut, though.
But come on, bro.
Yeah, like, me too.
I mean, if somebody tells me they could take a pay cut, I'm gonna do what I can in that given moment to try and make some changes to the team.
I'll take that 50 mil cut.
Talking about changes on the team, right? How you want to give obviously the team on the other side of town, right, some shine right now, and you as a Clipper fan, unfortunately, what ended up happening, right? If y'all people don't know out there, Paul George just left your team, and y'all didn't do anything with Paul George and Kawhi, and so how you feel about PG leaving?
It's mixed emotions. Honestly, I'm not too stressed at the fact that he left. He wasn't doing shit for us anyways. I mean, he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but come playoff time, it's almost like he wasn't even on the squad, you know? So, but what does fucking irk me is how much we gave up for him.
Oh, yeah.
We gave up so many fucking draft picks, bro. We gave up Shai, who is fucking on his way to be a superstar in Oklahoma, dog.
Stupid.
So we gave up our future, basically, for this motherfucker, and, and we didn't get shit in return at all.
Nothing.
We didn't get shit in return other than we got people to fucking look our way. That's one thing we got.
Yeah.
Because Paul George was on the Clippers.
Yeah.
So people were like, oh, Kawhi, he came. Or no, was Kawhi there already?
I think Kawhi recruited PG.
Yeah.
He was with the Thunder.
I don't know. I'm tripping. I might get it twisted. But people like Harden, people like Westbrook, they wanted to stay there because, there's now... The Clippers were starting to, without the championships aside, the Clippers were starting to get something that the Lakers have always had, and that's like the Lake Show, right?
Yeah.
They've always been able to put on a show. The Clippers were doing that at one point for a little bit. We were bringing stars. So I guess, for that, I can applaud him. He kind of held it down, and he fucking, he sold us, though, for sure. He sold us a good one. But he did it to Indiana. He did it to Oklahoma. I can't be mad at him for doing it to us. Man. It's like someone fool you once, shame on you, whatever, however that shit goes, bro. But it's like, it's our fault, really. Why the fuck did we put so much trust into that motherfucker?
Bro, and talking about getting fooled, right? Like, moving on, don't want to stay too long on the NBA because we have a couple other sports that we want to cover before we move on. But talking about fooling us on a consistent basis, right? So I don't know if there's any soccer fans out there or football out there. Both teams, which the United States and Mexico are out. I know it was painful for not having one of our teams move on, right? DBT, I know you're wearing an America shirt right now, and I know you're a big football fan, but can you give us your perspective on like the selección? Like, I know you had a lot to say, bro, but a lot of people are really upset on how they played, like the hunger that they have, and even just like the energy that they displayed out there in the pitch.
Shit, dog. I mean, I could sit up here all day and kind of talk about it, but, at the end of the day, bro, this was honestly one of the weakest fucking teams that I've seen put together. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes, whether if it goes up to an issue all the way up to whoever's managing the selection. I mean, at the end of the day, it comes down to like politics,
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on up there, but what I can see on the team is a lot of players who don't really have a lot of hunger, bro.
Yeah.
Like they're not out there trying to kill themselves on that fucking field for a dub. And I can't even complain about this last game. This last game that they had was good. It was solid. They went out there, they did their thing. They just couldn't fucking put the ball in the net. There's games like that all the time, but. That doesn't reflect the whole fucking tournament that they had with the Copa America. I think in general, bro, it was sad to see. I don't know, maybe what needs to happen to develop these players, bro. But it's sad to see Mexico, who at one point you could say was a powerhouse when it came to North, South, and Central America.
Yeah.
Especially North America was a powerhouse for soccer, bro, and it's like decreasing. It's like it's going away, dog. Like we're struggling, bro.
It's like to go to the chat, right? Like one of the homies over here is
Fuck the
mentioning.
chat, dog. It's fucking Clippers, homie.
Like mentioning, one of the homies over here mentioned that the Lakers are more concerned with selling tickets and more concerned with putting on a show than winning games. I feel it's the same with the selección, right? I think they're more concerned of making money, making revenue. It's a business, and it's not really putting the best product out there. It's what are we going to have our, the most return on our investment, right? Like from a lot of people that are super into obviously the sport, right? Tell me that these kids get taken to do all these like PR situations, all this marketing situations. They have all this other money that's coming in, right? So they're not reliant on the money that they're making on the pitch. So the same hunger and desire that, their predecessors have, like these kids don't have, right? But it goes back to like an a looming situation where a lot of people feel like this generation or like the mentality is completely different, right? Where people coming in now or the youth or these players coming in don't have that same dog, that same hunger and drive.
Nah, these motherfuckers are more worried about what they're gonna post on Instagram, what kind of caption to make themselves look good. It's like that pop culture is just kind of, I guess, has taken over. Maybe even the sports. Of course, it's taking over sports, but it's affecting a lot of people in a lot of different ways, bro. Like I look at the selections from before, fool, like people like Rafa Marquez, people like Cuauhtémoc Blanco, Guardado, like they went on that pitch, bro, and fucking, they gave it their all, dog. And if they lost, they lost with a fucking, with character, bro. Like, they get off the pitch and we gave it all we got and we came out with the L. Fuck it. Yeah. And now it's like there's just so many excuses, bro. It's ridiculous, dog. And I don't know if it goes down to the coaching as well. I don't think Jimmy was that bad. I really don't. But I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down more to the players, bro. And there's got to be some kind of better, player development when it comes to Mexico, dog, to change things around. Because right now it's not looking too good.
And I got to give a shout out to the U.S. national team because you just mentioned something that I've seen growing on the U.S. team is really like that passion and desire to really wear that jersey, right? And you start to see this flip-flop, right? Because forever, like a lot of people, they've always played tough, right? Mexico and the States have always had an intense rivalry for decades. But you're starting to see like that love and passion that you used to see in the Mexican players, right? In the selección specifically, like translate now to the U.S. The U.S. has never really had a lot of those talented players, right? Like skill-wise, but now, especially in this generation, is these guys play with heart. They might not have all the tools, right? They might not have all those situations, but like these dudes play with heart. They lose with heart. They play with heart. They have effort, right? And you're starting to see like the tide shift where like the U.S. teams are actually getting not only decent, but they're actually getting pretty good.
Yeah, bro. And I don't know if it's a cultural thing because, I look back and I think about people like Giovanni Dos Santos. Giovanni Dos Santos had his had his Tottenham debut, bro, that's at the same time as Luka Modric, bro. Luka Modric is a fucking UEFA champion, 6-time champion in the UEFA league, bro, for Real Madrid. Giovanni Dos Santos was even looked at as a better prospect than Luka, bro, and he's Mexican, dog. You know how proud that fool could have really, put on for our people, but he chose bitches, he chose drinking, he going out, like he didn't give a fuck. He wasn't dedicated to philosophers like, yo, chill.
The fuck?
No, but he dedicated himself to other things. I don't want to put Gio and Ronaldinho in the same boat, but Ronaldinho is somebody else who could have probably accomplished a lot more things in his career if he wasn't fucking stuck on booze and partying and high-notes,
Hey, well, also, I don't co-sign that last part. Also, one thing to keep in mind, I think people kind of forget a little bit too, and it's like a double-sided coin. We've talked about this before with boxing and like the golden era. Nowadays, I think what happens, bro, is that sports and like athletes have, as entities themselves have been looked at as business models more now, right? And as investments now, and you start considering insurances, you start considering injuries, you start realizing that as a soccer player, dude, my leg's worth X amount of $1 million, and this one's worth X $1 million. Any injury that I get now, Back in the day, when you're talking about this golden era in sports, you're talking about the pathfinders, dog. You're talking about the trendsetters, the guys that are creating the road where they don't have insurance policies. They're putting their life on the line to make a couple bucks. Like those first UFC fights, you're getting paid $500 a fight. If you won the fucking main fucking thing, you got $50K, cool. But everybody's getting 5 bills to go out there and risk dying.
Yeah.
You know, like these guys the guys nowadays, it's about a bag. It's about a business model, right? Back in the day, there was no bag to get made. You're just trying to survive, dog. So it's like that hunger and that desire. You got a bunch of people now that are just kind of being sissies.
And that's always been a problem in Mexican soccer, bro.
Yeah.
Like in the Mexican soccer league, it's really not like what you can do. A lot of the times is how much money you got.
So
Who's your dad?
Yeah. Oh.
Like if your dad's got the money to put you in Club America, you're gonna play for Club America. You know, obviously you can't just be some fucking fool off the street that just started playing soccer. Like you know, but if you're a fucking mid-level player, dog, and your family's got the money, you're gonna play for a good team, or you're gonna play for a team in the league. You know, and you're gonna get paid.
Nepotism, baby.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, bro, like soccer's a huge part of culture, dog. It's part of politics and everything. You know, like, bro, come on, don't do that to your people.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. The player development has to be stronger.
Yeah,
you know?
I feel that
1,000%. So you bring a great transition talking about the fight game.
Sheesh.
Want to get your, you know,
like
as
segue?
Yeah, it's a good
nice,
segue, right? As our MMA expert here, how did he feel about this past weekend, this UFC fight with Pereira?
Man, look, bro, all I'm gonna say is it went exactly the way it was supposed to go. The funny part is, I don't know if you saw the build up to the fight where Jiri was like, I always forgot to say his name. I think it's Jiri, where he was saying how Alex is always bringing in the fucking spiritual shit and the shamans, and he was all worried that he was gonna bring some spirits in. I don't know if you guys saw his response, but Pereira was basically just like, yeah, my fault if you ain't found the ghost yet. Go look at Alex's fucking highlight reels. He knocks everyone out with the left hook, G.
Yeah.
Like everyone, right? So with old boy, I like Jiri's style, man. Like he's unorthodox, he's a little different. But the only person I can see walking up to that guy ever possibly being an issue is John Jones.
Ooh.
Right? If it's not John Jones, I just like, who do you put in front of this guy? Maybe you bring him up, put some weight on him, and have him fight. What's his name? Stipe or Ngannou.
Well, that would be crazy.
That would be crazy
because he's talking about going up in weight. He's talking going up in heavyweight. So John Jones would be an incredible. Him and John Jones would be an incredible fight.
John Jones should win that though, because stylistically, okay. So this is the thing about Alex, man. A lot of people are gonna say he's not very technical, not very good. He's just got a heavy hook. What people don't really realize is that he has a very different way of doing things. Like his low kick, he doesn't kick you with the shin. He actually kicks you with the padding of his foot. He stomps on your leg. His lead hook, a lot of times we're used to stepping with the jab, stepping the cross, and then stepping that last foot for the lead hook to close that gap, right? Alex doesn't do that. So it looks really funky if you don't break his footwork down. When Alex throws that lead left hook that knocks fools out, he starts by stepping with his rear foot in, and then he steps with his hook. So he closes the gap without actually closing that forward gap. He closes the back gap first and then leaps forward. It went exactly how it should go, right? What's his name is cool and unorthodox, but Alex is just a sniper. You know what I mean? And he's got like the strongest fucking punch. If you let him crack you with that left hand, you're going out. The real issue is Jamal Hill saying he wants the rematch.
Ooh.
Like, bro, for what? Number 2? You know what I mean? Like, you want number 2? But nah, bro.
Some fools like to get beat up, dog.
They just like it.
That's true, dog.
Hey, man. Ain't nobody gonna hate me more than me, fool. That's crazy. But seeing that, yeah. What I'm more sad about though is Masvidal and Nate.
This weekend.
I don't want to see that.
You don't want to see Nate Diaz against Street Jesus?
Because it's Street Jesus. I mean, as cool as it is seeing, you know, a young bull fuck up an old vet, it's just not like what are we proving here, right? This Masvidal. When's the last time Masvidal fought?
It's been a minute.
All right, cool. So he's gonna come back and he's gonna fight fucking Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
The guy who in his last fight was holding onto the cage, trying to get his breath back because he was running around too much. Because he's like 1,000 years old in fighting age now.
Yeah.
Right. In the fight world, Nate Diaz helped Moses build the fucking ark. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's let this man. If in the fight world you're old enough to have seen Jesus, let's let these guys be legends. No more Mike Tysons, no Nate Diaz's, no Nicks, right? Unless they're older guys. Both fighting, but I don't want to see it, man. I don't. As far as Alex goes, I don't really want to see any fights other than John Jones. You know what I mean? And then, to be honest, isn't that kind of cheap for John to come back for Alex?
Yeah, nah. Like, Alex is the boogeyman right now. Like, and for him to come, a lot of people refer to John Jones as the greatest MMA fighter in history, right?
I would arguably say the greatest fighter.
Arguably the greatest fighter, right? Yeah. So for him to come out of, you know, wherever he's at, whatever he's doing, right? And come
fucking sick ass cocaine pit, dog.
Yeah.
Sick one.
Sick ass cocaine bear.
Yeah.
Just coming out, bro. And he comes out and he darces him, bro. He chokes him out, right? Standing darce.
You think he'll choke him out, tap him?
I think
he has to.
I think he has to. I think, you know, Alex has a great chin. I think Alex can definitely sit there and bang with anybody, right? So how you neutralize that is like, you got to put him to sleep, bro.
Yeah.
You got to put that man to sleep and make sure he don't get up. That's what I'd be wondering.
Like, has John Jones fought anybody with the type of power that this man clearly has?
I don't know.
But you see, I think that's the equalizer, is he's so open all the time.
Yeah.
And John is such a technical fighter, and John Jones can do everything and anything, right? There's nothing he can't do at all. And Alex Ferreira is just like, he's got power like a motherfucker. He's unorthodox, kind of like what's his name, Strickland. Strickland is unorthodox, right? It's kind of like when we go to, like, when we're conditioned as fighters, right? So as an average person who can't fight, who's just been in fights, you don't know, you're not conditioned to anything, right? You're just responding. A fighter becomes conditioned, right? And we have a set rule of responses for given circumstances. But even then we're conditioned. We're conditioned to an enemy's defense, right? If I'm taught that everybody fights like this, and then you go a Thai guy and he's fighting long guard, you have, it fucks you up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And you got like a Strickland who's fighting you like this with his shots just coming straight. Hey, I could see it being kind of weird, you know, fighting an Alex, because how unorthodox and stupid it looks. But to be honest, I don't see how Alex wins that fight. And I don't see it being, I don't think John Jones has fought anybody with that power.
Well, it's talking about like the passing of the guard, right? Yeah. And, you know, to make a quick transition into boxing, right? Last time we were here on this show, we were talking about Gallo Estrada versus Bam Rodriguez.
Oh, yeah.
And we had somebody in the chat talking about that Bam was going to retire Gallo. I agreed with that, because if you haven't seen Bam, right, go out there and watch this fight.
He's nice.
Bam is, in my opinion, like the Mexican Lomachenko, with his angles and the way that he, bro, it was.
That's actually a good way to put it.
Beautiful fight, man. Yeah. And Bam was on Gallo. Gallo is a living legend, you know, and it's the passing of the guard. And Bam fighting out of the Robert Garcia camp, it never seemed like he was ever like in trouble, right? They knocked each other down, both of them, right? But Bam ended up ending the fight with a body shot to the liver.
No way.
A liver shot, yep.
Oh, shot him down.
Gallo wasn't able to get up. Obviously, he has a rematch clause in his contract.
That's
right?
better than a knockout.
So they're going to run it back, right? But I feel like the next fight's going to be the same. I'm like, Gallo fights very traditional. It's that very traditional Mexican fighter where everything is straight, everything is firm, you know, flat-footed for power, right? Fundamentals.
Masterful fundamentals.
100%. Like, his counterpunching is on a crazy level, but you can't fight somebody like Bam the way that Gallo was fighting him, because youth and the angles and the footwork is always going to win.
Puts you a couple steps ahead every time.
100%, bro. So it was a good thing to see, like, the passing of the guard, right? They're going to run it back and they're going to do it again, right? But it was an incredible fight for those individuals who love boxing. I'm like, go watch that fight. It's on YouTube. Go check it out. Because Bam is a pound for pound great right now. Yeah. He's on that top 10 list, and at 24 years old, he is a two-weight division champion. Probably 24 years old.
No, that's crazy.
Two-weight division champion. They're comparing him to Gervonta Davis, right? And Gervonta's 30 years old, and hasn't fought any champions. You know, I love Gervonta. I think Gervonta and Canelo are the face of boxing, right? Yeah. But Gervonta hasn't fought any champions. And you have Bam, even though it is 112 and 115, a lower weight, coming in and picking off all at 115, you know, fighting Gallo Estrada, Cuadras,
Yeah. And those are your active fighters.
Yeah, bro. He's fighting. He's picking off legends in his weight class, right? And he definitely is there in the top 10. But if those individuals that haven't seen his fight, go out there, check that out. I think he's one of the top 10 in the world.
Yeah. And also, dude, I maybe it's wrong, but I just don't feel like you want to run it back too quickly with the guy that dropped you off a body shot. To me, I feel like losing on a body shot is so much worse than getting knocked out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because like you just don't. You're basically saying I don't have the will to keep fighting.
Yeah.
A knockout, your body got shut off. Gee, like somebody just pressed the button, right? Maybe you could have kept fighting, but yeah, that's a trip, man. What do you know that I can never remember his name. He's like a Chinese or Japanese boxer. He's coming up right now.
Anyway,
the
monster.
God,
a 122. He's a dog.
For the only motherfucker that I'm always excited when it comes to boxing is that dude.
100%.
He's scary, dog.
He got a fight out of Japan though, bro. Yeah. Like all his fights are in Japan right now, and he's had a couple fights in the States, right?
He got to come out here.
He got to come out here, bro. He got to get that VADA testing. Yeah. He got to get that VADA testing, bro.
Oh, you think so? You think
come on, man. Like, bro, like they're gonna make sure that your fighter, right? It's like, for example, it's like Canelo fighting only in Mexico. Yeah. I'm like, bro, you're gonna cook the books. You're gonna make sure that
let him juice,
bro.
Let him juice.
I'm with it, but create a whole league for individuals that are juiced. Because unlike
everybody,
bro, but straight up, like, man, there's 4 guys not fighting in this league.
But unlike like basketball or baseball, right, where like juice, where you see a lot of these cases, baseball specifically, in fighting, bro, like you have another man's life in your hands.
It makes total sense to have them juice.
100%. But create a league specifically just for fighters that are juiced.
Why
because
though?
That's just not, bro. It's not fair.
Why not? I could choke you out all the same. That doesn't help your fucking carotid arteries.
No, 100%. But you match 2 fighters that have equal skill sets, and you give one a competitive advantage by him juicing, bro. Like he's gonna win fucking 9 out of 10 times.
So let me ask you a question, because
if they're letting men compete in women's sports, dog,
straight up,
let these fools juice up, dog.
Yeah, fool, you got juice monkeys beating the piss out of just some chick, G. Like let this fool chase some juice, dog. This woman's not worried about fucking it's ma'am being on 40 IUs of fucking test, G. All right, no, but dude, that's a great point, dog. I swear to God, I'm fucking using that forever now. But a question to you, because you fucking train, dog. Let me ask you this: does strength beat technique?
Nah, it's weathering the storm, right?
Oh, okay.
It's if I'm in there with somebody who has heavy hands, right? I'm like I'm weathering the storm, and I know if I could take them into deep water, then yeah, 100%. Like if my cardio is better for the most part, like I can take them into deep water and get off in the earlier rounds. But that is surviving the early rounds.
Yeah,
like for example, a la a Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Right, like he got touched up, which to the point he wasn't doping the way that people are saying. Right, like we talked about him having a picogram of that substance, and his contemporary, one of the homies who is part of Canelo's camp, got a 9-month ban, not a year ban, for taking 3 substances. And you give Ryan a whole year for having a picogram of something that...
Well, having a picogram does not mean that you low dosed or barely dosed, or that you caught a bad batch of something. It could mean that, but it also could mean that this is just like the half-life is pretty much ran through most of this shit. And by the time we came to do the testing, most of it was out. But homie, you was on 40 milligrams of Ostarine a month ago, G. And your lung capacity increased because he was taking Ostarine, which is going to help you with cardio. Right, so something like that, it's not like if you're taking test or like tren or D-ball or something, then you're gonna get muscle density. So when you're off of it, it's gonna be clearly visible that there's a difference. When you're taking something like Ostarine, there's no physical change you're gonna see because it's just your cardio. But to me, dog, I don't. I feel like maybe this is unfair, right? But I feel like for other sports, I'm a little bit more so like, nah, fool, don't let these fools take steroids, because he can throw the ball further now. He can. His responses are slightly different. Like these things are helping these competitive edges, right? And there's so many people on a team versus a team. But when it's one man versus one man, and we're talking about the fight world, homie. Look, bro, I bet you somebody fought fucking Mike Tyson and felt to like they were surviving for the first 40 seconds because nobody made it out of round 1, G. And I'm pretty sure it felt like this motherfucker's on some shit because he's hitting like a freight train, right? At the end of the day, like, if you were Buster Douglas, you caught that knockout. Obviously, his mind was in a different place. But to me, it's skill, G. Like, this is Muay Thai, fool. I don't care how much juice you're on. I can still drive my heel through your fucking jaw and turn that button off. Your liver didn't get stronger. Your kidney didn't get stronger. Your calf didn't get stronger. Your jaw didn't get stronger. Your brain's not bigger, dog. It's not metal now. It's just your muscles. The real issue is you become more durable, and your cardio and your responses, right? But to me, fuck, bro, like, take his ass down. That's the point in MMA. He's stronger.
I feel you. I feel you. But talking about durability, bro.
Elbows.
And somebody who needed some performance enhancement drugs.
Hey, we need some PEDs.
And that bitch, just to switch the topic a little bit, somebody needs some PEDs. This motherfucker Biden, dog.
Joe Byron.
What's up with this fool, dog?
Hey, no picograms for him,
to sleep.
Yeah.
What's up with that fool?
Fool, he got a right doctor, G.
Fool, I think that fool's brain shut off mid-debate. I don't know if you guys watched that shit, fool.
Yeah, I was able to catch the debate. Shout out to the OG. Shout out to Gil.
Yo, shout out
was
to
able
CNN,
to watch.
homie.
Yeah, was able to watch his live and hilarious, right? But it's interesting, bro. It's crazy because we talked about it before, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, are they setting up the platform for a Gavin Newsom or somebody along those lines to come in and swoop up, right?
Slide in.
And now you're seeing like the Democrats, right, really call for him to step out, step down,
come
step
on,
down,
Grandpa.
and allow somebody else to run, right? And it's just. It shows that
It's like finding out your big homie's a weenie, dog. Like, fuck, fool.
bro,
And this fool my whole life,
and
dog.
everybody's there, so you're trying to do on the low, like, come on, hey, just get off the stage.
And you know, a lot of Biden's arguments, right? He was really saying that his arguments were fact based, right? That he's spitting facts. But we live in a perception world,
That motherfucker's
right?
saying something.
And the perception of this fool was like he has no idea what he's saying. He changed the subject mid sentence multiple times, right? And you have a soundbite from this fool Trump talking about like, I don't know what he said. He don't even know what he said,
don't know
bro.
what he's saying.
You have no idea what the hell he's talking about, man. And that in itself, like, I feel like if he had any chance to win the election, he lost it right then and there.
Yeah.
You think? Yeah, yo, my fault. I can't get that shit out of my head. You find out your big homie sweet. Hey, that's like your dad losing a fight when he came to defend you, dog.
Oh, that's all right.
Your dad came to deal with your bully's dad, and your bully's dad beat his ass up too.
You know you're both beat.
Now you're looking at the bully like, damn, G. Hey, but you know what? Shout out CNN, homie, for holding Byron down, dog. Because when that motherfucker started hitting that Windows load wheel, the motherfucker started trying to process it. They were like, anyways, so Trump.
Nah, yeah, dude. I was watching. I was at the casino actually.
Sick.
And I was watching on that little TV. But I was watching for a second, like by the bar area, so I could hear, and they had the subtitles on. But when I sat down at the table, I didn't even have to hear shit. I just seen this fool, and I was like, that fool's fucking whack.
That fool
like,
trying to figure it out right now.
He was
G.
just like it looked like he was just going through it, fool. Like he didn't know what to do. Like, fuck, like I'm just trying to be here.
Hey, what if like low key that fool's just so smart he's having like 5 combos in his head,
And nothing comes out, huh?
Nothing, bro. He solved like
stuttered.
5 issues. G.
Nah, dog. It's
And
probably dementia. Or some
Probably.
shit.
Hey, did they really say it was because he was tired?
Yeah.
Sleepy Joe.
Fool, I think he said it himself, right?
Yeah.
He said
Damn.
he said that he felt sleepy, and that it wasn't an excuse; it was an explanation.
Straight there. Every time I give an excuse, G, that's what I'm
Full
saying.
sleep,
It's an
dog.
explanation. Yeah, take a nap, fool.
Bro,
Hey,
take a nap. It's the biggest day of the year for you, right? It's your first presidential debate, dog.
Come on,
Like,
G.
what? You're not gonna be well rested, my G?
You old fool. You know y'all
What?
gotta go to bed at like 6. Stop playing, fool.
5:30.
No, and then
5:30,
I saw
G.
people.
Damn,
They had
put
like
the
a little
all-nighters
press
and
conference or whatever, and people were like, "Dude, didn't he come back from Europe like 12 days ago? Like, why the fuck is he still jet lagged? You know,
Oh, fool.
it was
Come
just
on,
bullshit, bro. I don't know.
You ever get off a plane after being 90,000 years old, G? You don't know what the fuck that feels like, fool.
Bro.
You ever cross time
That fool
zones at
should have never
89?
gone anywhere. Then
You shouldn't. Don't
that
leave the
fool shouldn't have
retirement
gone
home.
anywhere. He should have been ready for that. But
Hey, but shout
I
out to him
seen-
for not falling off the plane.
yeah, shout out to that fool. I seen that fool trying to say he's good at golf. Fool.
That's crazy.
DBT will mop you
Drag
up,
that
dog.
fool through the dirt, dog.
Hey,
DBT
respect the
mop you up,
president,
Fool
fool.
can't
G.
even walk. Fool, fool ain't gonna swing the ball, dog. That fool
gonna
was trying to
fall.
say he'll beat Trump.
It
Nah,
just
it ain't
At least
happening.
Trump can swing, fool.
That's
look,
crazy.
look, it don't matter what political side or political affiliation you're in, right? I
Yeah.
think the one thing that we can agree is having a president who first of all, the nepotism that he has.
Yep.
Second of all, right, just like the energy levels in him being not even his policies, but just being physically capable of doing the job. Like you're making this country. It doesn't matter if it was Biden, if it was Trump,
on the job, literally.
bro. Literally
sleeping on the job, G.
like it's making the country a laughing stock, bro. Because you have other world powers, right, looking at this and saying, bro, like their president of the United States is falling asleep mid sentence. It don't matter if it was Biden, Trump, whoever it could be. Just the fact that you're falling asleep mid sentence and you're not physically fit enough to do this job, like. Come on, bro.
Yeah, that's the thing is like as you know, like as we're viewing, we're supposed to go into this open-minded, dog. It's a debate, so we got to go into it with open mind, but can't take that fool serious, dog.
Well, bro, open-minded, not sleepy-minded, fool. Like I need somebody that can handle a conversation, G. And look, bro, all I'm gonna say is, if it wasn't falling out of a chair, falling off a bike, falling off a step, smelling little girls' hairs. Like, you know what I mean? Talking about the hair on when I go to the pool and the kids like to touch the hairs on my legs and they rise up, or forgetting what he's saying.
Resting your forehead on the pole.
Damn. That did happen.
That's crazy. That's true. Like, resting your forehead on the Pope, taking a shit on the Canadian stage. Like, what the fuck has Biden done? Because all I can think about is like the weed shit. Like, what have you done, fool? Taking a fat ass masa on the stage is probably the highlight reel of your career, G. Damn. At this point, as Prezi,
right?
As Prezi, right?
Facts.
To me, bro, like it's kind of sad that we're even doing this. Like it should be a situation where we're clearly looking at this president saying like he's not cognizant enough to do this, dog. Nah. So like, how about we just do the right thing? Get this fool out of here right now and look at who we have available. And I guess that will be the question I'll throw to y'all. Me personally, I'm independent, right? And I would say I sit more conservatively than anything. And between the Democrats and Republicans, I probably share more Republican ideals than Democratic ideals. But I would also say I'm fairly progressive in some shit, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it's just, hey, live like you want to live and get out of my business, right? Small government. But if you have to look at, I got hair, my fault. If you have to look at any candidates that are available right now, or even just somebody that is a Democratic official, who would you like to see switch that place?
None of them.
Right?
I don't see anybody.
None of them.
Right?
I don't see anybody that I'll be like, damn, I could vote for that fool.
No.
Like, I don't. No.
And that's kind of the shitty part, right? Like, there's so much issue with, like, right now being Republican is like, I don't know, bro. It's such a byword, right? It's such a negative. Like, if you're Republican, you're automatically a bigot. You're automatically a sexist. You're a transphobe. You're a racist. You're like something super negative. Not to say that there's a fuck ton of Republican candidates that I really like am gung-ho over, right? Like, I'm cool for Trump. I'd rather Trump if I want to put my 2 cents, but I would rather a better candidate too.
As a country, we're so polarized.
You know what I mean?
Like, as a country, like, even like having, it's funny because you see it on social media. It's not funny, right? Using that as a filler word. It's a little funny, right? But like, you see your own friends and family, right? And people that you have within your network. Once you share your political opinion, bro, like all of a sudden it's like, bro, you could grow up with this guy and you find out that he's a Biden supporter or a Trump supporter. You're like, man, fuck you. Why? Yeah. How could you support that guy? Such and so forth. Be like, bro, like, we can't sit here and have a conversation where half of the country feels one way and the other half of the country feels another way. Like, we need to be able to meet somewhere in the middle and have some concessions and be able to agree to disagree. And that's our biggest problem, because half of the country wants it one way and the other half of the country wants it another way.
But to be honest, it's always been that way. The crazy part is that the crazy
it's gotten worse though.
The comment on the bottom, that's wild, son. That's my name. That's probably my pops. Yeah. The crazy part, bro, is like there's something called Trump derangement syndrome. Like, people got so caught the fuck up in the election since Trump came around that motherfuckers started to have like mental issues over this stuff, bro. Like, never before did you have that. We've always been a two-party system, pretty much. It's always been the left or the right arguing, blue or red, Republican or Democrat. This is the story as old as America. But what happened in the past decade that people were so infatuated at candidates that they literally started to create like cognitive issues, Right? It doesn't make sense.
I think it has to do a lot more with the media, bro.
Exactly.
Like the media is way more one-sided for sure, you know? So I think when somebody puts a picture of Trump on the fucking TV and somebody's talking about how it's the next Hitler, fucking, of course people are scared as fuck.
Well, why the fuck did the motherfuckers have Hitler derangement syndrome? Nobody was tripping on Hitler this way. Chill the fuck out, G.
Yeah, I don't know,
You
dog.
know?
I don't know what exactly it was.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like whatever they did, it worked, because at one point, to me too, it was like, fuck that fool. And I never imagined myself ever being in a mind state where I could listen to what he's got to say and be like, all right, you know, for one point in my life, I thought like it was gonna be forever. Fuck that fool.
Yeah.
Because of how much they push that on our people.
That narrative.
But, yeah, you got to snap out of that. It's like, you can't always think that way. I'm not gonna just sit here and I don't want somebody to tell me how I had to think.
Yeah, well, that's what trust but verify, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I might like you and I might agree with you for the most part, but like, I'm still just being a father. I'm still just a sheep.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I gotta do my 2 cents. You know who I did like though? That Ramaswamy dude. Right? That I don't know if I'm saying his name right or not, but the Indian cat that was running, unfortunately, he dropped out. Him, I had a lot of hope for, bro. I think he could have been a really good one. The other one was the
wasn't that fool Republican too? Yeah.
Yeah.
That fool said some wild shit.
Oh yeah.
He did, huh?
Yeah, he said some wild shit.
Really?
He did say some wild shit. Yeah, he
like
did.
bad wild.
Yeah.
Damn, don't make me take this back. I liked you for a minute before.
Nah, he says some wild shit about the raza, though.
Yeah.
I think he did.
All right, bro. This isn't live anyway, so we'll just cut that, G. I'm sure.
What about Robert Kennedy Jr.?
Oh, see, we went into this, bro, but I think this is where I think it's fucked up. I think that we're so caught up on aesthetic that we wouldn't give that for a shot because his voice alone.
Just because at least he can stay awake.
Yeah, I mean,
come on, bro.
Hey,
his voice is that much of a deterrent that you're not even willing to listen to his points, his policies.
I think
like,
America
but Joe can fall asleep in the middle of a conversation.
I think as Americans, we took a gamble on 4 years of a motherfucker that we're like, nah, he ain't that bad. Yeah. He's that bad, G.
He's that
he can't,
bad.
Yeah, he's shitting, he's sleeping, he motherfucker tripping right now. I don't think we want to go another, like I don't think we want that. I like him, right? But I think that we're just so hard on aesthetic that it's easier for us. If a motherfucker pulled up with like a missing eye or just something physical, right? I think we'd still choose sleepy ass Joe and his NyQuil over the motherfucker with something going wrong, right? We're just so hard on that shit.
Nah, that's true.
All right.
And I mean, it comes down to the fucking media, dog, being force fed red and blue.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really shine light on these people, bro. So a lot of people they're not going to take the time to research themselves, you know? They're just there's people that just fucking throw on CNN, Fox News, and that's just what they watch, dog.
Well, I just want President Macho.
And that's all they do.
Camacho. y'all know President Camacho?
No.
Y'all ain't never seen Idiocracy?
No. Oh, Idiocracy? I've seen that movie.
Where what's his name? What's that? The black dude's name? The actor, big ass buff fool. Next Friday he plays
Terry Crews.
Terry Crews.
Yeah.
And he's the president. You gotta go see that, bro. President Camacho.
That's a good movie.
That's what I need.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, let's get President Camacho in here.
That
G.
movie fucking defines where this fucking
it
world
aged well.
is, dog. Yeah, exactly.
It aged well, G.
What's the name of the movie?
Well. Idiocracy.
Idiocracy?
It's a comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude wakes up in the future. He falls asleep in like a time chamber thing. Wakes up in the future. It's all like commercial now. It's just it's like a fucked up.
But okay, so not based off your personal opinion, but if let's say Biden steps down, who do you think is gonna take the lead from there?
Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
I think they've been grooming him, bro.
So too?
Yeah. Yeah. I think exactly.
He's to your point, bro.
Get rid of the pillow. Bring this fool up.
He's a young, vibrant, politician who speaks well, says all the right things, right? Looks the part,
Maybe
right?
Fucking a lot up,
but to your point, like he says nothing.
Yeah.
Like nothing at all whatsoever. Like I don't know if you guys ever saw recently, like they had a press conference with him and talking about the homelessness issue, right? How, homelessness went down by 2%, but there's a new law, if you guys don't know, but here in California starting July 1st, right? Like now police officers are able to find homeless individuals and give them a ticket for sleeping on the street.
Yeah. Isn't that nationwide or is it just Cali?
It could be nationwide, but I'm saying
it's crazy stupid no matter where you do it.
So you're saying that you're gonna give these individuals a $200 or
Who's
whatever?
Gonna pay that shit?
Like
he gonna be like, word. wrap his crack inside of his ticket, G.
Bro, like it's a trip because it's like you're gonna develop, these individuals are gonna get fined and fined and fined again. Eventually it's gonna turn into a bench warrant, and then you're gonna end up into the system.
Yeah, and he's gonna get 3 meals and a warm night and end up right back on the street. Like, come on, fool. A lot of times homeless dudes are trying to get that quick little ride real quick and get fed.
100%.
Get their bed and come back to their tent where they know where their bag's at. Jeez, right behind the freeway.
But I really feel like one of the
55.
Yeah, it's right off Winnetka.
But what I really feel one of the biggest issues when it comes to homelessness is like affordable housing. Like we're in an affordable housing crisis right now, where a lot of people are sitting here waiting for the bottom to fall out, right? You see a lot of individuals saying, well, the market's going to crash. Let me tell you, the market's not going to crash.
Yeah, it's not.
Reason being, and why my personal belief is from everything that I'm seeing, is people aren't selling their homes. No. There is an inventory crisis right now where people aren't giving up the 2-3% that they got during COVID,
Diamond
right?
hands, homie.
They are holding, they are staying still, they are renting those properties, they are not selling those assets, right? And new home builders aren't building homes fast enough.
Fuck no.
So you have these prices with continuously. It doesn't matter if interest rates are right now at 6.5%, 7%. Like there is zero inventory for people to buy. So
about 1%.
The prices continue to climb, and individuals are waiting for a price drop or waiting for the market to crash, and it's not going to happen. No. So
we're not so sure of that though.
How so?
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know. I don't have like a reason to why it might not, but I don't think we could sit here and say that it's not going to happen.
Well, I would say that
because I see a lot of people talk about recession and shit like that.
But people talk about recession every year, right? And we've been in silent recessions, to be honest, bro. We were like, I don't think motherfuckers realize we've been in a recession. Like, we literally were dealing with a recession for like 4 or 5 years straight before motherfuckers were even talking about it. The issue is, without that inventory, how does it happen? You know what I mean? I don't see how you can have a crash when you don't have inventory. Like, what's going to crash? Everything's held.
Yeah.
You know?
Scarcity.
Exactly. And it's kind of like it's like the double-edged sword of the situation. What I am interested of, though, is like, what is that reflection start to look like? Like, how does that manifest when you do have, I know inflation is dipping and whatnot, but you are going through this issue right now. And then at the same time, there's a scarcity in market. Everybody is holding because a lot of people don't even want to own homes right now.
I feel like somehow, some way, people holding like that, and they're not being a lot of inventory is pissing somebody off.
It is.
And something's going to happen.
But there's also a lot of big corporations that are actually buying up entire neighborhoods and holding. Like literally banks are buying up 20, 40, 50 tract house units and just holding them, dog. Just not renting them, not fucking selling them, just holding them in their portfolio. You know what I mean? There's some weird shit going on, but I am interested because the market is taking a major hit right now. We've gone through inflation. We've raised the minimum wage. We've fucked with our money so much, but there is a scarcity in the market. So how does that end up reflecting? You know what I mean?
Because it seems like every single year, right, there's a bigger population, right? Mm. When I was in school, like you heard like the world population was like at 6 billion. Yep. And now you look at the world population, it's like 9 billion.
Yeah. And you can't even count everybody.
100%. Yeah. It's impossible. Wow. They're definitely missing tons of people, right? So you're talking about there is more people on this earth, right? Land isn't being created. Right. So there is a scarcity issue when it comes to homes. So if there's not more land that's being created and more homes aren't being built, that the price has to go up.
You about to get into flat earth, dog?
No, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not Kyrie Irving, bro. I'm not getting into flat earth.
Yeah, there's more land. Fool.
What if there is more land?
There is more land.
There's a lot more land. I feel like there's a lot more land.
I'm on your side.
We just don't know about it.
All of a sudden, Mars, see?
Mars,
homie, on Earth.
Mars, son.
On Earth, there's a lot more land.
Yeah. No, I actually do believe that, right? Not flat Earth and all that. Yeah, straight up. Damn, that's America, homie. You know what's funny, though? Like, my fault segue real quick, but I actually do like that Ramirez is fucking in the comment section, the first post, to have him do Caltrans.
That's just the worst, bro.
That's the worst.
You ever done Caltrans?
Yes, sir.
That shit sucks,
yes, sir. It is cancer for sure.
It's the worst.
But that second response, I don't fuck with that at all. Tax the people for reselling the car. Listen, you got tax on your check. You got tax when you bought the car, you got taxed at the gas station, you got taxed for your car wash, you got taxed. Why we don't got to tax more people? That's not going to help nothing. Yeah. Buying stocks to build more prisons. All right.
That's already happening.
That's called privatized prisons.
The privatized prisons. That's already happening.
Yeah, they make bread off that.
Why do we
want
to build more prisons?
That's terrible. Yeah. I liked your first comment. The other two are crazy, G. Nah, but yeah, I don't think you're gonna have a crash on it, right? I don't think for this one. I think that if, to be honest, man, if you really want to get into it, I think that California's gonna end up kind of falling into that Agenda 21 shit, where we're really just trying to force stack and packing and going like the New York route. Even out in the Valley, bro, you look at all the stuff getting built out. They're all tall, high-rise fucking apartment complexes, right? All being packed into every little corner you can. Like the Valley's starting to look like a little downtown. I think that the only way, like Trump tried to incentivize a lot of building by removing capital gains with was opportunity zonings, right? But you have to sit there, which is good, right? It's a good way to sit there and incentivize investors to actually stay within a community they're building on. Right? For your capital gains to get alleviated, I think you need to own the building, live in it, to own the building yourself for like 15, 20 years, right? So it forces people to stay around. That's like commercial, right? So like when it comes to people in a city or in a state like California, bro, where more land or not, we're running out of land that we can actually build on in here. You can only go up. I don't think you're going to have an issue, but I think that you're running into a fucking huge population issue, right? A market issue. But I think you're running into a huge population issue in California. And outside of that, like stacking up, how do you fix the fucking problem? You know, housing is probably one of the biggest fucking problems in California. You know what I mean?
Nationwide.
Nationwide, but then couple that with your homeless crisis. Isn't it kind of funny that like you have both of those issues right here, dog?
Well, affordability, home affordability causes homelessness, and then in turn causes, mental health issues, right? Like a lot of individuals that end up homeless end up developing mental health issues because they're homeless, right? 80% of those individuals, like I dare to say, like at least 80% develop those mental issues because they are homeless, right? And if you've ever been in that position, like fending for yourself on the streets is definitely not a place that you want to be in, right? No. So, with that being said, is how do you see the government's role when it comes to like affordable housing? Like, how do you see that? How should the government act, or what should the government do when it comes to being able to alleviate something like affordable housing, or creating avenues for individuals to be able to purchase properties?
See, that's a hard part, man. And that's where it's kind of a blessing that's why we're not a capitalist nation, right? Because we're a hybrid nation. We're like a capital communist or commune a nation, because then you do have situations where the government kind of has to come in and start doing certain things. I think it's hard, bro, because you do have programs out there. You do have things that are meant to kind of help out. But then, I mean, I don't know. Most of these places, they're just buildings that are set up, and people are like, all right, here's a halfway house, or here's a homeless house that you can go set up in. And even in these places, fucked up shit goes down. I think it's difficult, man. And then you have, on top of that, you have people shipping in their homeless people into California or into different states, dropping them, to different cities, dropping them off. To be honest, man, I think you have a huge issue with the military and our vets getting dropped off in the streets, and our vets going through mental issues, and then next thing you know, ending up on the streets, nobody taking care of them. Drugs is probably a major issue in it. You have a culture with kids.
The number one issue.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially with the youth. And nowadays you have like a culture built around like basically camping outside, but like hippie homelessness is like a thing. Education's got to be a factor in it. But on top of it, do you want the government involved in that?
Nah.
You know what I'm saying?
But I don't really see like a real solution that nobody's
people
presented.
Are paying for it, right?
Yeah.
And they're not going to do that all the time. I think that a lot of these different programs should be some of the welfare shit, some of that incentivized. Maybe you start coming out with real resort type situations. Because just telling somebody to get clean and putting them in a room with that's not doing shit.
It's not. I don't think the issue is finding somewhere to take them. It's keeping them there, dog.
Yeah, and to be honest,
even if you do house them, they don't want to stay there.
Well, you can't look. Okay, so let's say you're fiscally irresponsible, right? You're somebody that you never respected money. You've always blown bread off. Anytime you get stressed, you go and buy a bunch of shit. Like, you're terrible with cash. If I come up to you and I give you $1 million, are you going to have $1 million in a year or two?
No.
Why not?
You're
have
not,
more.
Yeah, you
Sick ass fool. He's gonna gamble all that shit, homie.
Put that shit on black.
That's
fool.
right.
A million
Sick
on
ass.
black.
All right. Well,
homie.
if you're not a DJ and you got the diamond hands to sit down and make it happen, you're not. Why? Because your mentality is the issue. You're not fiscally responsible. You're not mentally mature and prepared to deal with money. So just because I give you money doesn't mean you'll have money. It means you'll fuck it off. So just because I give somebody a home doesn't mean you'll keep a home, homie, because you're just going to grab the tinfoil and smoke up in every room till you can't deal with this home. What I need to do is deal with the man or the woman behind the issue. I need to deal with the mind, which is why I think instead of just throwing somebody in there, maybe if you have certain resorts, like fucking these rich ass motherfuckers that go to rehab on Malibu Canyon and just overlook heaven all day, maybe for some people, they need something, a different aspect of life. Maybe the understanding of loving yourself and taking care of yourself and treating who you are in those issues mentally would be a stronger place to start than just locating someone somewhere, because now I'm in a new box in a new space on earth with the same problems.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna grab that Pookie either way, G. You know, I'm sorry, fool. I hopped on a train from Nevada and found the meth in Cali, G. I'm gonna find it where you put me.
yeah.
Do you think that this is an overall, putting our tinfoil hat on? Because I definitely want to give you the floor when it comes to this. I think everybody has been waiting.
That's good or bad,
bro, everybody's kind of been waiting for this, right? But putting our tinfoil hat, do you think this is a bigger conspiracy or agenda to take wealth out of the American people, right, and redistribute it where they say you will owe nothing and you will be happy?
You know what's funny, man? So for this one, the crazy part is you don't ever got to ask me to put a tinfoil hat on, fool. You got to ask me to take it off, G. Nah, the crazy part is for this one right here, man. I think the interesting part is that this is more than one conspiracy stacked up. I think you could take probably 6 or 7 different conspiracies and fit them all into this one.
Break it down.
Right? Like Agenda 21, Stack and Pack, right? Which is part of the eradication of the middle class. It's to create these tiny high-rise buildings, kind of like what you have in Japan, where everybody's living in a fucking closet, right? And just pack as many people in these cities and then moving them away from the rural areas. That way the corporations can come up and take this huge landmass. They can have the monopoly of land or whatever, you know. I think that's what you'll see in all your metropolises, in your Portlands, your Seattles, your New Yorks, your Californias. Every single major city is going to be built up, not out. They're going to go tall, not wide. And that's to make prison planet, basically, like your prison states, your prison nations, to make everything so much underneath a smaller umbrella to control. I think that the homeless crisis is also, and the mental issues that we're seeing right now is also a way to eradicate the strong men and all the strong men that are around. I think that the psyche of the man has to be attacked before any of the conspiracies can play out. Because in order for any of the conspiracies to play out, we got to take the warriors out. Right? So how do you take the warriors out? Well, in a nation that's got a fucking, like we said, America will never be invaded because behind every blade of grass will be an AK-47 or an AR-15. Well, maybe I can't address the gun because the metal is metal, but maybe I can address the man's mind because that is an idea. It's not physical, right? And it's much easier to kill an idea.
It's worth more destroying that.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's a cheaper cost.
Yeah.
And it's much more effective, right? If I can pacify these men like Alex Jones, they're turning the frogs gay, right? Okay. Well, maybe I can change the idea of gay or of masculinity or femininity. Maybe I can bring these movements in, these Me Too's and the these and the that, and maybe it's not one Trojan horse that is the conspiracy to worry about. Maybe it's a collection of Trojan horses that are happening simultaneously to the point where you get so overridden with conspiracies that you stop looking at them. Right? You stop noticing them all around you. So now men aren't men anymore. Men aren't strong anymore. Men have been taken out of the household now so that the government can provide for the woman, so that the daughters can be taken to the government. Men can't provide a household anymore. Men that are providing are being told that they're weak and inferior, right? Man, dude, and then toxic masculinity
is what they call it.
all day, right? Which is part of your movement, which is what funded
The lack of masculinity is toxic masculinity.
The lack of masculinity is the most toxic form of masculinity. A coward man is the scariest man. Right?
Yeah.
I want a man capable of violence yet chooses not to, right? Because that is powerful. That is divinity. Understanding the capability to go to the other end and choosing to fight that temptation. That's what makes you a good man. just being a fucking pussy doesn't make you a good man, fool. It just means you never had to make a choice, right? And then you look at weather, bro. You look at all the hard stuff. You look at all buildings being taken down so that new things can get brought up. Look at the maps of all these random fires that occurs and how railroads are supposed to
like 9/11.
Damn, G.
Those are the only three buildings.
No, get me killed.
Bro, I'm just saying, like, the fact of the matter is, you talk about like just some of these things that have ended up transpiring, and 9/11 is one of the examples where, like, you know, steel buildings that have imploded on themselves is like one of the only example in history where the three buildings that have ever imploded on themselves based on a fire have all happened during 9/11.
Nah, fool, you didn't see the fucking controlled demolition in Vegas that looked exactly like World Trade 7 falling? That happened too, but that was controlled and the World Trade 7 wasn't. Same shit. Same shit. A building free falling into its own body quicker than a bowling ball falling off of it is wild, G. But yeah. You know, like one of the only things that can shoot through steel at that rate was thermite.
Yeah.
That's like the only thing. I'm just going to throw that out there. You know, like you can look at like buildings that have, like you're saying, bro, that had fucking planes land into them. The jet fuel burned the whole thing down. The fuckers burnt for like a week. And the building's still up there because, believe it or not, steel is really hard to melt.
Yeah.
You know,
extremely hard.
You know, like they barely found any fucking rubble on one of the buildings. Everybody in the area got cancer. All the firemen got cancer.
That's incredible. That's crazy.
And you know what's crazy too? If you think about it, bro, like you look at holograms and all the technology we have today. We've kind of like, I think you mentioned one time Bluebeam, right?
Yeah, Bluebeam.
So for some of y'all, you could Google it, right? It's just a conspiracy around having using theological, I guess, incentives with holographs and sounds, right? Making people see gods in skies and hear audible voices in their heads, but it's all just the holograms and frequencies being shot out. Okay, well, you look at the technology nowadays, you can go on YouTube and look up this video of a whale inside of into auditorium, right, in gym at a school. A whale comes out of the basketball court, water splashing and everything. It smashes down into the thing, water goes up, audible sound, everything. It looked so fucking real. Now, one thing we know about the government is since fucking the Vatican, homie, since the church was, like 100 years ahead in technology of the masses. Okay, now fast forward that a few hundred years. How far ahead is your government, right? There's planes that you don't even know exist right now, right? But they've existed for 20 years.
Yeah.
But you don't know shit. So, I mean, 9/11 was a couple decades ago.
Yeah, almost 25 years ago.
This holograph technology, in my mind, it had to be in the air. It had to be being fucked around with at some point. This shit didn't happen in 2020, 2010, right? So when you see these things, bro, and you start to realize, like, even the rate that the building falls and the way it falls and all the engineers that have come out and spoke on it, it's old news already, right? And that was the start of it all. That was to start peeling back the real layers, right? Like, America's an experiment, but this experiment has had some conspiratorial shit all around it from the jump, right? If you look at your Declaration of Independence, the big names, your Mount Rushmore, biggest names on the fucking Declaration.
All Masons?
Yeah, not just Masons, man. Fuck Masons. Masons ain't shit. And people got to stop with the Masonry shit, right? First and foremost.
Frank.
Damn, Frank, get the fuck up out of here, Frank. I'm on a roll, G. Don't fuck me up with this Mason bullshit,
G,
Illuminati, all right?
Spencer.
Knights of Malta, fool. Nah, bro. If you're not even talking about the Scottish Rite, I don't want to hear shit about Masons, fool. Yeah. Like, you don't know your shit, fool. Everything ain't a Mason, not you, fool, but everything ain't a Mason and everybody ain't a fucking Illuminati. What the fuck is the Illuminati? Right? You have black nobility families, dog. Like, there's like a pyramid of secret societies, fool. You know what I mean? You have a pope and you have a black pope. Like, every society has this shit, the way it's been broken down, man. But you have the Borgias to look at, you know, in the Vatican. But the reality of it is, man, like, you got to ask the question, there's known knowns, there's known unknowns, and there's unknown unknowns, right? There's shit that I know. There's shit I know I don't know yet, but I know it's there. Like, nigga, I'm terrible with math. Maybe algebra's a known unknown for me, right? And there's shit that I don't even know exists, that's not part of my mind yet, right? When I look at a lot of this shit that's gone on, bro, the way I look at it, like I said, America is a unique thing. Your Mount Rushmore, the people that gave you your independence, next to their name it says ESQ, which means Esquire. And Esquire is like the lawyer of the queen. So we got our independence from a nation, and our Mount Rushmore, our major heads, there's like 200 names on that declaration. But the main heads that we give all our respect and our admiration to were like lawyers, or the people that we got our freedom from. And then we took all the iconography from Egypt, Babylon, and Rome, right? And we created a Christian nation out of it. America is a different thing. America is a secret society that was created into a nation, right? All of your presidents came from the fucking skull and crossbones. They're all cousins. Yeah. They all go back to fucking kings and the kings of England, and who they claim that their lineage goes back to Babylon and Nimrod the Great, right? If you really want to talk about masonry and shit like that. So to me, bro, America itself, part of the experiment is this weird secret society. What other nation it was built that didn't come from blood? We're a concept. We're an idea. America was an idea that was created, and a whole nation was built out of it. India is a people. Africa has a people. Europe has a people. Like America doesn't have like a people like that. That was the natives. Right? And that shit got washed the fuck out. And then people from another nation, Europe, were like, we're going to make this thing over here. It's an idea. You know what I mean? It's so unique. And Babylon was the closest idea to this type of thing. But Babylon belonged to Babylonians. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's, for us, I think we need to realize that, yes, there have always been puppeteers. There have always been hands to do shit. What you need to do is stand gate at your mind, dog. Stand guard at the gate of your mind. Be very intentional. Look, if religion did one thing for you, homie, it's told you that your body matters. It's your temple. Your mind matters, bro. Keep it clean. The content you consume, keep it clean. We know what social media is doing. Yeah. We know this is the devil, fool. The devil ain't in your Bible no more, G. The devil's in your pocket, and your dumbass has to decide whether you're going to listen to it every minute, not every day. Because if that phone breaks on you for the next 8 hours, you're going to forget it's broken and keep looking for that crack.
Facts.
And you're going to sell your soul on this. You're going to sell your everything you believe in. You'll expose yourself. You'll throw yourself in the trash on this thing, dog. To be honest, the way technology has been utilized, this phone alone is probably the biggest conspiracy. Yeah. You know what I mean? I've stolen your mind now. You know what I mean? What's going on right now is a conglomeration of conspiracies that are all molded into one thing, right? You can't take this nation off one conspiracy.
And when was your aha moment when it comes to conspiracies, and you're like, you know what, like you grow up as a child, right, and really believing, you believe in Santa Claus, you believe in some of these fairy tales, right, and obviously believing that we live in a democratic world, right, is another fairy tale. But 100%. when did like conspiracy theories really like sink in, and you're just like, whoa, like I just realized that this is something that is truth. Like there is validity in some of these conspiracy theories, just like a lot of people were saying that there is no island that exists out there for pedophiles. And then lo and behold, there's an island with pedophiles.
Yeah, there's probably 4 more.
Probably, when was that turning point for you where like you had that aha moment and you're like, yo, conspiracies are real? Like, and that's the question for both of you guys. What was the one event where you're just like, yo, like people don't see this? Like, am I the only one paying attention to this? Like nobody else understands?
Yeah. I'll go first because yours is probably deeper. But for me, it started like when I was a kid, bro. Not exactly, but it was something that I realized. So growing up in a Catholic household, and then obviously going to school. In school, they didn't fully like now. The school system's like a lot different. Yeah. Because a lot more things are more known, a lot more things are brought to light. But like when you're in school, at least for me as a kid, it was like when it came to like when the Europeans came and they conquered land here, like they made it sound sweet, kind of, Yeah. Like it was just like, oh, Christopher Columbus was just sailing and he saw this land and it's like, oh my God, like let's kick it here, fool, and like let's just chill right here. And then you grow to realize, and upon your own research or whatever it is, all the things that happened to the natives, the people that were native to this land, bro. Mm-hmm. It just starts to put questions in my head, and then I'm like, damn. So you're telling me I grew up in a household that is not super religious, but obviously we have faith in the Catholic religion. Like I started doing the research, and I'm like, bro, my people were destroyed because of people who brought that religion here. Yeah, like it's knowledge. Like so. They came and they took advantage of the fact that they had better technology, whatever it was, and they scared them into a religion, bro. Basically tortured them into this religion. And so now the people that stayed in this land, aka my people, my ancestors, like that shit's just been passed down, So when oh shit. So for me,
damn, that's crazy. If it's raining lighters in here.
So for me, dog, that's kind of where it came from. I was like, okay, so if this is like something that I felt like was a big thing or a big issue that was never taught to me, you know, I kind of had to find it out by learning through other things, and you know, just putting two and two together. It like opened my mind to it made me open-minded to like everything else, then making you question everything.
And I'll tell you, to your point, I completely agree, right? I think that's like a sobering topic to be taught in school and be like, damn, like we're really talking about like a mass genocide and a massacre, right? And we're just sitting here like this is history or American history, right?
Crazy.
But
not just that, the ill intent behind everything.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the first time that I really, and it happened to me young as well, where I'm a history buff. I love history. I love, you know, I'm a firm believer. If you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it.
Yep.
And I love like ancient Egypt, right? Yep. Like ancient Egypt, you know, the Mayans and the Aztecs and whatnot. So learning about these ancient civilizations, and one of my favorite things to do is, you know, be able to go to like museums and just kind of geek out on those things, right? And the one thing that I have religiously heard like since I was a child that, you know, when it comes to like Egypt, right? Like, you know, you get told this time and time again where the Egyptians built these incredible monuments. They built these incredible pyramids, right? That you hear it time and time again that modern technology is unable to replicate what they did thousands of years ago. So you're saying that we're in an era where technology, like we're in an artificial technology era, right? Where AI is now booming and is thinking for itself, but we haven't come up with the technology that can replicate the things that were being done thousands of years ago.
And we're the peak.
And we're now at the peak of our technological advancement. Like,
I don't think we're nowhere near the peak though, to be honest.
So to me, like
No,
that,
not even close.
that in itself created doubt. And I was like, okay, so if we can't replicate what our ancestors were doing thousands of years ago, how did they develop that technology? How was that done? And swoop in Ancient Aliens, right? Favorite show.
Hell yeah.
Swoop in Ancient Aliens. And swoop it's aliens, G.
Yep, aliens.
And you talk about like, ancient civilizations like the Anunnaki and Sumerians. And you talk about these ancient civilizations that came down and you're like, oh man, like they must have gotten that technology from somebody else.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Again, this comes down to theories because, not everybody's people might hear it and be like,
but how is that a theory? How is that a theory where you continuously will go anywhere to any of these, books or museums?
Oh, no, I'm with you on this.
And the thing you keep hearing is modern technology can't replicate what was being done in ancient times.
Well, that's gonna come down to us. I think the more we find out about the past, as weird as it sounds, the more we find out about the past, the more we go into the future.
The problem is you won't, bro. So if you look at the Smithsonian Museum, underneath the Smithsonian, I don't know if you know this, but there's a vault that has more artifacts in there than on the top surface of the Smithsonian, and you can't actually go under there. More history is hidden and kept. You got to keep in mind, so much history was destroyed. What is the consequence of these rebel groups that we finance going through these Christian nations, destroying every monument they have, every statue, every scroll? What happened when Hitler did that? You know, what happened when the Queen did that with all the African artifacts and all that? So much history has been eradicated, lost, destroyed, or hidden. The Crusades.
Well, I've heard that a lot of Catholic churches built their churches on top of pyramids, like pyramids that were basically hidden.
Yeah.
They kind of like build it on top.
A lot worse.
So that people won't have to fucking question the pyramids and just follow the Catholicism.
Not just that, bro. A lot of these civilizations already, not even just for like negative reasons, right? Like that's true, but not even just for negative. The Israelites built all those things, God's chosen people. That's not true at all. But what people in Israel were in Tibet? You know what I mean? Like, nah, I feel you. So I'll show you. You want to know something crazy? So I don't know if you know this about pyramids. The peak of pyramid building are actually the oldest pyramid. Every pyramid that, whether you look at the Yucatan or the Giza Plateau, every perfect pyramid you see that is like perfectly aligned down to the degree that is aligned with the solar system. Pyramids are actually 8-sided, not 4, right? every pyramid after them was a degradation. People actually got worse at pyramid building. That's when step pyramids came in and ziggurats came in and shit like that. The pyramids we think of were actually the first ones built. So in what other human experience can we look at man or people being able to build the thing at perfection and then degrades as they continue to build? It doesn't work that way. What it sounds like is somebody else, something else, or a different technology or education was around for people, and either those original people left or that technology disappeared or the education disappeared from the people's minds more than anything, because you don't get worse at things, you only get better, right? When it comes to like the building of things, nah, bro, there's pyramids in Antarctica. There's pyramids under the water where the planes fly over and they go missing all the time. The Bermudian Triangle. There's a pyramid underneath there, dog. There's pyramids in Russia. There's pyramids in China. If you want to talk about Israel, one of the curses of the Israelites was to be spread upon all four corners of the earth and to be enslaved to every nation but of your own, right? But the pyramid building era of the Israelites would go back to Moses, and that was Ramses, dog. Moses was there when Ramses was there. Pyramids existed before Ramses did already, dog. Ramses never saw his pyramid get built. So no, bro, most of these monuments weren't done. A lot of monuments are built on top of others, though, just by nature, and some by hiding. In Egypt, they were really, really, really big on canceling off the previous empire. Right, there was like a sister queen who got killed off and then completely erased. So much history has been erased and taken out.
Yeah, I've heard that about Mexico City too.
Yep.
Mexico City being a big place where, I mean, obviously there's Teotihuacan, where there's huge pyramids, but there's a lot of pyramids where in other places in Mexico City where it's just like, you know how Mexico City's super hilly?
Bro, you have all these,
there's a bunch of pyramids, but it's just hidden.
The trees, dog.
And where the Basilica is one of the oldest churches up there. That's what they say too. There's like, it's on top of a pyramid.
I promise you, if you deforested a lot of fucking Mexico, you'd find a lot of monuments. The nature is going to consume its culture again. If something happened today, if the rapture occurred today, right, and all of the human existence just disappeared, but our cars stayed, our buildings stayed, everything stayed. In 1,000 years, you know what would be here? The pyramids. Your building wouldn't be here. Your skyscraper would get ate up by the climate. It would get ate up by nature. Rust would come through from the weather itself. Everything that man has built, because man has built off of artificial creations, would get consumed again by nature. And then you'd have rainforests and shit like that, except for when you deforested it, there wouldn't be a tire anywhere. But when these ancient people understood, there's underground caverns that are like, how this is impossible. How did you make this? There's pyramids built to like the utmost perfection. That would be hard for a computer to calculate this on, right? You couldn't put a razor between the Pumapunku fucking stones, G. Like, it's just the way it is. Their drilling was perfect in these little fucking, and Machu Picchu, dog. Like, there was no Israelites in Peru on the top of those mountains, I promise you. They would not be able to breathe.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to Damien. I think what he's trying to say, bro, is there's pyramids all over the fucking world. You know, like, they're just...
Yeah.
You'd be pretty ignorant if you think that pyramids were held just to Egypt.
Yeah, 100%.
And also for that comment on Damien, no, the 12 tribes were never back in Egypt, right? So if you go back and look at the story, the 12 tribes are lost. The returning of the Messiah is what will unify the tribes again. That's why they don't even know who they are. That's part of the curse. The 12 tribes have no idea who their identity is. And two of those tribes, one of their curse to identify them was complete extinction, G. Like that was the Native Americans.
So when was it that?
Oh, your initial question.
Yeah, my initial question is, when was it in your life, right, as where you ended up putting on the tinfoil hat on for life? Like, what was that moment for you where you're like,
I was born with it, fool.
Yeah, besides being born, you're like, this is a lie. Like, we're living in the simulation, G. Like, this is a lie. What's going on?
Nah, for real, bro. To be honest, I think that a lot of people, that when you become a very curious person, it's typically, some people are curious by nature. I don't think I ever not questioned. My first one was religion, right? I remember clearly when I read the Bible, because I tried to when I was really young, and I was Christian and Catholic, raised in two different households, right? Yeah. And when I try to really get into it, I try to read it front to back. I really cared, and I was like, the story just don't feel right. Like, it's not being told right. It seemed out of order or some shit. So the first kind of conspiracy I think I fought against was my perception of God. And then that kind of chilled out for a while. I kind of always questioned everything, right? I think a lot of people that naturally are like that. You're naturally somebody who questions authority. You might probably have issues with authority, right? You don't like to just give up your free will, your cognitive abilities to people. You're probably questioning people a lot. You're probably argumentative, right?
Yeah.
Probably like to debate. You probably like to challenge. I think that was more so for myself. When I turned like 19, 20, man, I had like 2 felony cases that I had fought. I had a bunch of bullshit I was doing. So I wanted to turn my life around. And that started again with theology, right? And learning about all the different religions. And then in that process of trying to clean myself up and to fix myself, I stumbled in conspiracies. I resaw 9/11 again, right? And then the real thing, though, that really, really got me was realizing that there is a shadow government and there is an international shadow government. And these people believe in something. Right, they pray to this God, this Moloch God. They believe in these things, right? Because it's not power only, and it's not money only. Because you can have those things and not worship a thing. You don't need a ritual for any of that. Yeah. So why do you have these rituals? What is skull and crossbones? Like, what are all these things that I'm seeing, man? And as I learned about that, it revamped my thinking of what life is in general. Because I was just like, bro, I'm agnostic. Ain't no God, fool. Babies die every day. Can't be a God. But then I started looking at the people that run the world, that hold all that history, that know all the secret things, that, you know, they've been around doing this forever, and they believe in something. And that's what really, 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 it started with me trying to change myself and come out of being all banged out and stupid. And then it moved into me being like, wait, no, hold on. The truth is stranger than fiction, because these motherfuckers believe in something. You know what I mean? And then that right there kind of, I'd already been on some conspiratorial relearning shit, but having that perspective made me relook at everything and really, really see it differently. And to be honest, another one, a lot of people are going to chew me out for this one, dog. But the UN, the symbol being the flat earth map, fucked me all up, G.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, fucked me all up, G. Because I was like, these flat earth motherfuckers, man, I'm tired of this shit. Y'all retarded. My bad. And then, I looked at the UN symbol and I was like, yo, that's the flat earth map. And then when you look at the UN symbol, it's broken down into 33 squares. That looks like a radar. And I'm like, bro, how? Like, gee. And then you realize gravity is a theory. You realize, like, most of the concepts around time.
It's not real.
What?
Yeah.
That everything you see is upside down. The color you think something is the color it's rejecting. Everything solid is 99% empty space. Like, dude, fuck a conspiracy, bro. Your perception of life around you is a conspiracy.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck don't you have a tinfoil hat on, dummy?
Yeah.
What do we like to talk about nowadays? The Matrix, escape the Matrix. Motherfucker, can you see the ones and zeros? You speak binary? Because it seems like your TikTok is popping, dog.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So a conspiracy, man, mind your own your mind, G. At the end of the day, these motherfuckers are doing what they're doing. They're going to go to Bohemian Grove. You don't even know how to fuck to get there, nigga. So, like, at the end of the day, control what's in front of you, dog. The conspiracies are conspiracies, but how much is it going to benefit you to know that the earth is flat? Sorry. It's flat. It's not, bro. Just be positive, man.
Shit, that's a lot to take in, dog.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
But I know I do my own little research on a lot of that shit too, bro. I think one of the main things I've gathered is, like, in general, bro, all the information that we have and that is available to us and given to us, a lot of it is interpretations of the truth, like the Bible.
Yeah.
You know, to me, is like an interpretation of what maybe really happened, you know? Not to say that every single story in there is true, but it's interpreted in a different way, you know, and it just allows that religion to have a certain control over a certain amount of people.
100%.
And that goes for every religion, not just Catholicism, Christianity. You know, people of all religions, they're all going to interpret the ways they want to for their benefit.
Yeah.
You know, but man, dog, appreciate, you know, all that information that you shared, all that knowledge. I mean, we're going to have more episodes like this for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get into more topics.
Yeah, hell yeah. Definitely got to jump into some more things. But, you know, we got to wrap this episode up, man. Anything you want to say before we get up out of here, dog?
Man, just hopefully everybody is safe for 4th of July, enjoying their time with their families. Remember, history is written by the victors, so do your own research. Formulate your own opinions, but mostly stay safe. Stay safe this 4th of July.
Most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And, you know, for all you stoners out there, homie, First of all, the earth ain't flat. I'm just playing, but just make sure it ain't flat. That ain't flatter than your bleezies out here, right? Keep it road fat. We do nothing but globe blunts, homie. Circle blunts, no flat blunts, no flat earth. Don't be falling off the map, homie. Go get you some Hadar. Hadar Extracts one on Instagram. Tap in.
Hell yeah, and a big shout out to Black Spider World for being one of the sponsors for today's episode, man.
Cool.
Appreciate y'all. Well, anyways, I hope everybody has a good, safe 4th of July. Don't be shooting each other with fireworks, even though I probably will be, but y'all shouldn't do it. Y'all stay safe out there. Have a good time. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. It's another episode of What's the Word on the realest platform, America Cholo, man.
Sheesh.